You know, I have to say that Grady Judd is probably the single greatest opportunist in America right now. I don't care for him. Things I don't like about Grady Judd is he's more of a politician than anything else. I'm sure somewhere along the way during his career of being a law enforcement officer, he was a great cop, street deputy, whatever. But at one point, things have changed. And we see every day is Grady Judd takes the opportunity to leverage what we all do, social media, to elevate himself. And I'm telling you, we're seeing the initial stages of a higher political office run from Judd. It's either going to be governor of Florida, Senate, Congress, or president. But he just put out a video criticizing Chicago's actions. First time I've ever seen him actually openly talk about another agency. To my knowledge, I've never seen Grady Judd condemn any agency, any sheriff, any police chief for engaging in the unconstitutional enforcement of mandates during the lockdowns. I never saw him condemn that. And if he did, good for him, but I never saw it. I see him every single day take people who have broken the laws in his county, arrested by his deputies, and condemn them on his social media before they ever see the inside of a courtroom. He assigns guilt due to his popularity and his influence to those who do break crimes allegedly in his county, violating due process. Every single fucking morning, he does it. He has coffee. He'll take their evidence and wear it to a podium. He'll put their mugshot up, embarrass them, and the people love it. The people love it because they've been engineered and programmed to loving it, because we've had so much out of control, running rampant crime that nobody's doing anything about it. So in order to wind up being the antithesis of that, you have to have an extremist. Grady Judd, the same man who celebrates the death of people at the hands of his officers, shooting someone 68 times because it comes from the place of the heart. We ran out of bullets. Shows how dangerous of a man this rhetoric, words of vigilantism is, and the public just eats it right up. His deputies don't wear body cameras, which always makes me wonder, what are they hiding? He has a lot of issues that concern me. But here, he just gave you a peek under his hat. Grady Judd just inadvertently announced he's running for a higher office.
Hello, I'm Sheriff Grady Judd. I've spent my entire adult life in law enforcement, and I have never heard of one law enforcement agency not helping another when they call for help until this weekend, when a chief of patrol where the Chicago Police Department instructed the police officers not to run in and help their colleagues who were calling for help, who were under attack by a bunch of people clearly violating the law. That's scary. Let me give you the antithesis of that. We had a single man resist ICE agents and get away from them in our community. We sent a helicopter, a drone, K-9, and 50 law enforcement officers to surround an area, and we found that guy who violently resisted ICE, and we locked him up in jail where he should have been. If you allow anarchists and criminals to run wild in your community, people will die. People will be shot. Now, let me say this. For other law enforcement leaders across this state and nation, you need to be standing up saying the same exact thing that I am. Because when you have a breakdown of the rule of law, when you allow anarchists, criminals to take over the streets and attack law enforcement officers and then not send them help, that's a slippery slope, a real slippery slope.
He sends 50 officers, K-9 and helicopter, and if ICE wasn't there to witness what they didn't pick up on their body cameras that they don't have, I wonder if that man would have been shot 69 times. See, the problem is when you have rhetoric like this, trust me, from an ego-fed position. This man is looking for a higher office. He's looking for more power, and he's capitalizing off of the overly emotional hatred for the criminality that we've seen nonstop on social media for the past several years. The out-of-control riots in Democrat cities that nothing's ever being done about. You know, the peaceful protests, the abuse of police or law enforcement authority on a national level, like by the FBI. We are starting to see, or have been seeing, for over 10 years, cops not being able to do their job, criminals literally getting away with murder. So we're emotionally supporting cops who are fighting fire with fire in a way that just should not be done because it's not law enforcement, and people are loving it. Grady Judd is a cartoon character. He's somebody who absolutely belongs on The Walking Dead as a governor or a Negan to keep people in line under fear and under his boot. And I'm going to tell you something. The man is smart, because in order to maintain his position for so long, you have to have loyal subjects underneath you. That's why he doesn't have body cameras. I have to wonder if we ever saw body camera footage of the guy who was shot 68 times that elevated this man to fame. Would we ever see him throwing up his hands and saying, "I surrender"? Or did they just gun him down because he shot an officer, K9, and used the officer's gun and it came from the heart? It is an extremely difficult job in law enforcement. Judd doesn't remember it. Judd does not appreciate nor respect the Constitution and due process. That's one of my biggest problems with him. And right now, he's capitalizing off of the mob's thirst for criminal justice reform, the mob's thirst for punishment, and he is simply giving them what they want. He is going to be your judge, jury, and executioner. And if he is elevated to governor status, you can rest assured he's going to run his state that way. And you guys are all going to love it until you're in the crosshairs of the cops. You didn't use your turn signal. You rolled through a stop sign. You didn't ring that gallon of milk up at Walmart over the thing, so now it's a retail theft. And the next thing you know, you were shot 67, 68, 69, 70 times, and it came from the heart. And everybody that you were in that social media group is now going, fuck around, find out. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes on your video that Judd put up online to criticize you during his morning coffee social media post. This is his announcement. Mark my words, Grady Judd will be seeking higher office now that he has officially entered in the national arena for criticism on political campaign levels.